guys, I'm Caitlin. I'm the Director of Youth and Congregational Life here at Grace. For our children's sermon today, I actually would like to talk about boogeymen. Yes, boogeymen. What are boogeymen? So normally we think of boogeymen as these things that either hide under our beds waiting for us when we go to sleep or hiding in our closets. But really, I think boogeymen can be just really anything that's scary. So just think about some of the things that are really scary for you. So for me, I'm really scared of a few things. So that's things like bridges. I'm terrified of bridges. I don't know what it is, but I just don't trust how they're made. I'm also scared of garbage trucks. If you know the story, it's great. And I watch too many crime shows, so I'm really scared of serial killers. Those are some things I'm really scared of. But I know some other things that can qualify would be things like snakes or spiders or even ghosts or just being in the dark in general. Or maybe you're scared of heights. Anything you're scared of qualifies as a boogeyman. But you know what the ultimate boogeyman is? The ultimate boogeyman is death, dying. And we hear a lot about that in some of our readings today. And death is just really scary because we think it's just really final and it's really sad. With that though, before we get into it, with the boogeyman, I don't know if any of you know the VeggieTales song. It's called God is Bigger. So the words of it goes, God is bigger than the boogeyman. He's bigger than Godzilla or the monsters on TV. Oh, God is bigger than the boogeyman, and he's watching out for you and me. So therefore we know God is bigger than any boogeyman. I mean, he's bigger than Godzilla, he's bigger than ghosts or bridges or even death. But unfortunately, we aren't God. We don't have those boogeyman defeating powers. So here's what we need. We are going to make boogeyman repellent. That's what we're doing today. So I have my ingredients here. And we're going to make some real quick. So, I'm going to start, here's my little pot of boogeyman repellent. So, we're going to add a little bit of everything we have right here. Poured some of that in. Got that. All right, we're going to pour some of that in. We got that. Going to squirt some of this in. Squirted that. And then last but not least, we'll spray some of this in, and we're done. Okay, so we got this. So how are we going to use this? Just wait. Hold up. This is just water. Wait. No, that's right. Because, water really is a boogeyman repellent. You know why? Because we can use water to remember our baptism. What? Yes, because remember, so our friend Paul, he wrote a lot of books in the Bible. So he writes us in his book of Romans a few things about this. So baptism is one of those things where remember that we're connected to Jesus even in his death. So just like Jesus died, I mean, we're going to die too. That's just part of the deal. But we know that's not the end of the story. Spoiler alert, it's not the end of the story. So, because later he also says, for we have been united with him in a death like his, we will certainly be united with him in a resurrection like his. So, and that goes perfectly with the stories we're going to hear. Because we hear first about God in the valley of the dry bones, and all God does is he just breathes new life into these bones, and they start piling back up, and they turn into real alive people. And then we also hear in the gospel about Jesus bringing his friend Lazarus back from the dead. And again, another spoiler alert, Jesus does this himself. He dies and he comes back from the dead. So even though death is a real part of life, we know that it's not the final answer because of God. Because God loves us so much and doesn't want that to be the final answer. So, if you ever get scared, just grab some water, grab your handy dandy boogeyman repellent. Just make the sign of the cross, remember your baptism, and remember that indeed, God is bigger than the boogeyman, and he is watching out for you and me.